What's going on, everyone? Scott here. Welcome back to the channel. So Michigan State wins their 9th game in a row, improves to 5-0 in conference play with a 78-68 win in Evanston against Northwestern on Sunday. Now, pretty all-around game from Michigan State. Jumped out to a pretty early lead, double-digit, got to 20-plus at one point. There in the first half, Northwestern, towards the end, was able to kind of grind it out and make it 10-point game, even cutting it within 10 points towards the last couple minutes of the game. But overall, solid game from Michigan State. We're going to go over it, but first, before we do jump in, if you could just hit that like and subscribe button down there. More Michigan State basketball content on the channel, so make sure to subscribe so you don't miss a video. Now, starting with Northwestern, one of their main guys, Nick Martinelli, did have a good game. 27 points overall. Really kind of kept him off the glass, though. Only 2 rebounds for him, but he was 8 for 18 from the field. He did have 12 free throw attempts, went 9 for 12 from the free throw line. Jalen Leach as well, 17 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists. But of those 17 points, 8 of those came at the free throw line, so just about half there for Jalen Leach in this one. But overall, Ty Berry only 2 points. Brooks Barnhizer really struggled, 2 for 13 from the field for 4 points for him. Did have 8 rebounds on the night, though, so was still getting it done on the glass there for Northwestern. But for Michigan State, it was... first off, Jeremy Fears. I thought last game was his best game in a Spartan uniform this year, but this game just as good. 12 points, 8 assists, 1 steal, only 1 turnover on the night. Was 3 for 7 from the free throw line, so that's the only kind of hey, let's look at this stat here. But 1 for 1 from 3, 4 for 5 overall from the field. Really solid night for Jeremy again. Jaden Akins, 14 points. A lot of those came at the free throw line. He was about at 8 points under 2 minutes to go, then had a handful of free throws. Get him to 14, but solid night. Had 5 steals on the night. So we saw Jace Richardson last game, 5 steals. This game, it's Jaden's turn to get 5 steals. And speaking of Jace Richardson, really solid off the bench, 13 points, and was doing a lot of good stuff that we've seen him do all year, really helping Michigan State build that lead in the first half and just always being solid there in the second half. 2 rebounds on the night, but was 4 for 5 from the free throw line, 1 for 2 from 3, 4 for 8 overall from the field for him. And Jackson Kohler, again, doesn't get to double-figure scoring, but still solid across the board with 8 points, had 5 rebounds, had a block, and again, efficient, 4 for 4. We haven't really seen, besides maybe one instance this season where, Jackson has had 4 to 8 points and has gone 2 for 9 from the field or something. There's only been one game like that. He's been fairly efficient with his shot on the offensive side of the ball this year and doing it defensively as well. Shimon Zapala was solid, 3 for 5 from the field with 5 rebounds and 7 points on the night. I thought Carson Cooper gave some good minutes as well in 14 minutes off the bench. Only had 4 points, but had 5 rebounds as well. 1 for 4 from the field. He did foul out, though, in this one. Trey Holloman, kind of uncharacteristically, had 3 turnovers in this one. He's always been very good assist-to-turnover ratio, and only 1 assist tonight compared to 3 turnovers. But overall, Michigan State, and that's the beauty of this Michigan State team. If 1 guy, 2 guy is having Trey still had 8 points. He still had an okay game. Just the turnovers are kind of a little uncharacteristic for him. And, 3 turnovers isn't even that horrible. Only 11 for the team, which is in that range that we always talk about. 8 to 12 turnovers is where this team needs to be successful. And, the crazy thing is kind of going off on a tangent on that, is we've seen Michigan State turn the ball over 15, 16 times during this 9-game win streak and still be able to pull out wins. But to be successful long-term, going into March, going into tournament time, and some of these big games that we have coming up in the Big Ten schedule, you need to keep those turnovers between 8 to 12. I did that tonight, but not worried about Trey. Just had a few turnovers there, but I'm not worried about that. That'll clean up. 4 fouls for him as well, but that'll get cleaned up. Not worried about that as well. But, really, when I say this was a team effort, like all these wins have been for Michigan State, on the night, 18 assists on 27 made baskets, 4 for 8 from 3 for 50%, and they shot 50% from the field as well, 27 for 54. So, but I really love that 3-point number, 50%, yes, that's a higher percentage, but yes, they only shot 8 shots. I understand that. Not saying they shot 15 to 20 or like Northwestern today, 25 3-pointers going 5 for 25 for 20%. But Michigan State, they understand that, hey, getting into the paint, like this team has been very successful getting to the paint, and then them getting to the paint gives them, even though they have been getting good 3-point looks this season, just opens up those 3-point shots even more while they are still, trying to, which they have turned it around, really over the last, handful of games of hitting their 3-pointers. 4 for 8, I love that. I love that stat here the most. And then again, winning the rebounding battle, 37-30. Forced 12 turnovers for Northwestern. I believe it said, I know we talked about it in the preview for this one, but I believe they mentioned it in the broadcast as well, that Northwestern, which is something we said, doesn't turn the ball over a lot. I believe the number they said during the broadcast was about 9 turnovers a game, forced 11 or 12 turnovers for Northwestern. So they were able to do this, in the half-court setting, which is something that was, maybe a concern for Michigan State coming into this year. But I think that they have shown throughout this year that, hey, yes, they still want to get out, run, and do the classic Michigan State defend, rebound, run, but they can get it done in the half court as well, and that's been a really good development throughout this season for Michigan State. Only 4 fast break points and only held Northwestern to 5, but as we talked about coming into this one, not like Northwestern wants to play up-tempo, fast, bottom third, bottom half of the country in those 2 statistics for Northwestern. But overall, 36 points in the paint, absolutely love that. 26 for Northwestern. Lead got up to 23, as we said. Northwestern did have a 5-point lead early in the game, but overall, game mainly controlled by Michigan State in this one. So Michigan State moves to 5-0 in conference play, 14-2 overall, winning their 9th straight game. Things are rolling right now for Michigan State. But coming up over the next week or so, week and a half, got Penn State at home back in the Breslin Center on Wednesday the 15th at 7:30 on BTN. And then next Sunday, big one against Illinois, ranked number 13 right now, coming to the Breslin Center at 12 o'clock on CBS next Sunday. So can't wait for that one. And then you go to Madison Square Garden, which Michigan State has struggled there over the years, but to play Rutgers next Saturday. So with that being said, we will be back with a preview for the Penn State game later on this week. And we'll be back with recaps, previews for Illinois, but we'll be back with previews and recaps for every single Michigan State basketball game. Other stuff on the channel as well. So that'll do it for this one. Thank you all so much for watching. We'll see you in the next one. Peace out.